Hello my lovelies, it is October and that means it's time for Inktober. Now my record for Inktober is no more than like, I don't know, 5 days in a row, but this year I'm gonna do it and it's gonna be fab and I'm not gonna quit a couple of days in because I forget to draw. This will all be explained in a second. But yeah, this month I'm going to be participating in the Inktober challenge. I think that was started by an illustrator called Jake Parker, and I'll leave like the links for everything like down below. And it's basically drawing every single day in October with ink. I think the point of the challenge is to form healthy creative habits to, you know, just get better with a new medium or a medium that you're not 100% comfortable with, and I am 100% not comfortable with ink, and considering my friend and I are making our own comics soon and I have to ink every single page, it's gonna be hard, so I wanted to get some practice in. These lovely things are all my Inktober supplies. I will go through most of them individually but quite quickly because that could get a bit boring, but this is also kind of, this is what I'm using, this is what I've used before and would recommend. So let's get onto it. I bought this new moleskin. I don't, oh, you can see the camera there. I don't usually buy the size, I think this is the A5 size moleskin. Yeah, I think it's A5. Well, the smaller one, it's the hand for reference. I usually buy the A4 ones because I don't tend to like drawing small, but I thought as I'm going to be inking comics which need to be kind of small per panel, I thought I'd give one of these a go, and the size of the page is less daunting to fill. We got this open. Pro tip, always cut away from you. I've stabbed myself in the boob many times with an X-Acto knife. It ain't pleasant. Yeah, look at that, look at that. New moleskins are always just beautiful. But yeah, this is going to be my Inktober sketchbook. Now, this lovely box is something I've been adding to for about the last 6 years. And I've refined it and edited it many times, but this is kind of like my favourite inking supplies. I'll go through each of them now. Oh yeah, for those of you who are curious, these are my favourite pencil leads to use. I bought a big pack of them off Amazon. But yeah, a lot of people like to sketch in something a bit lighter, but I actually really like sketching in 3B because I can get more tone out of one single grade of graphite and I don't have to keep changing the lead. So yeah, my favourite one. And Pentel ones are quite cheap as well. Right, a super quick and nice art supply that I've used for a while now. And I think it was Jellie Bee that introduced me to this. I'll leave her channel down below, but you kind of already should know who she is. She uses these, or something similar, the Pentel water brush pens, which are essentially, if you've not seen these before, as a synthetic brush nib. And generally you would fill them with water and you'd put them in watercolor and you could paint like that without having to carry around a big massive jar full of water, so it's quite convenient when you're on the go as well. But she fills these with bottles of fountain pen ink, and the ones that I use are the Diamine Fountain Pen Ink. You're not meant to use these in brush pens, but it actually works pretty well. I found I like them, and I've been collecting. They're also pretty cheap. I get mine from Cult Pens. Everything I mentioned, by the way, I'll leave in a link down below. But yeah, I get, and they're like £2.35, I think, on the Cult Pens website. And I have, okay, I think this is Imperial Purple. I have Soft Mint, Red Dragon, Amazing Amethyst, Flamingo Pink, Marine, Graphite, and Emerald. And I think I've already filled, whoops. I think I've already filled a couple. That's the Imperial Purple one, and I think this is the Red Dragon. it's super nice to ink with, like really nice. And I really recommend those if you're going to be attempting Inktober on the go. This interesting little fellow is an old hair dye pot that I just stuck stickers on and wrote over the top of. And these are my dip pen nibs. These are, now some of these are extremely old, and as you can see, they're quite rusty. I think some of these are even about 80 years old. My stepdad gave them to me and he got them from an antique market. Some of them are a bit bent and broken and in need of some repair. You can buy holders for dip pen nibs, but I don't have one with me right now because I broke mine, but I just used a cheap wooden dowel from Wix and then just filed some notches into it, and then you can jam the nib in and it will hold it, and then you use those to dip into pots of ink and draw with them like that. Really dusty. These are very old, but they've served me well, and that is like De La Rowney acrylic ink. They're perfect if you want a really solid line. You can water it down, but I don't tend to. I just tend to use it straight out of the bottle, or I'll use the dipper tool right here and I'll drop it into one of these pens and just start drawing like that. But yeah, these are really good and really cheap. You can get these at most art stores. I tend to get all my stuff from Cass Art now because we have one in Birmingham, and on Amazon. Another ink that this is a new one, I've recently just bought this, and it is the Speedball Super Black India ink. My friend Lauren recommended this to me and I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to be giving it a go. I'm probably just going to be using a brush with this, so probably just going to be using a brush with this, like obviously not a brush that big, 'cause, well, I don't know, if I was doing a wash maybe, but I've got some 00 size brushes that I'm going to be using with this and testing it out. Yeah, I got this from Amazon and I think it was about £5. And this is also a new addition and I've never used it before, although I've had it for a very long time. It's just been living in this drawer, being like waiting to be used, and it's very claggy, is that the word to use? I don't know, but this is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, and this is for adding some white over. Oh, it seems to be like congealed. It's probably just got a bit of a film around it. I'll mix it up when I start to use it. For adding highlights or correcting comic pages, and that's I think what I'm mainly going to be using this for. Now, this looks like a mess, but is technically organised chaos. Some of this I've had for a very long time. So these are the brush pens that I'm going to be using. I've used the Old Faithful Pentel pocket brush pen for about a year now, and honestly I love it. I do find the refills quite hard to get hold of though, but generally I kind of just use a syringe and will inject some ink into it to keep it going, but I do think the proper Pentel ink makes the pen run smoother, so I wouldn't advise clogging up your Pentel brush pen with other ink brands. But if you're feeling experimental, give it a go. And these again are the brush pens which I'll be filling with ink. The ones that have the bigger brush tip, I think I'm going to fill those with a diluted ink wash. Get a nice mid-tone. These are very similar. I think this is a Pentel. I think they're both Pentel actually. But yeah, these are just kind of similar to the pocket brush, just a bit bigger really. And they've got slightly thicker synthetic brush heads. That one is kind of like super fine, and this one is a little bit bigger. But yeah, essentially they're just the same as the Pentel, just different sized brush tips. These are some fine light, well, I think you can still call these brush pens. This is a Zig Mangaka? I don't know how to say it, I'm really sorry. A flexible line by Zig, and it says water-based pigment, light fast, smudge proof with alcohol-based markers or watercolor. And that was the main selling point of this pen for me. So I am going to be putting it to the test with my Winsor & Newton brush markers, because I've kind of fallen in love with these at the moment. I'm just using the grey 12 set all the time, and that's got a very fine tip, and I think you can get like a lot of different variation of line out of that one. Same with this one. Oh, I cannot remember the brand, but I think I got it very cheaply, less than £1 from Cult Pens. And this has more of a felt tippy kind of nib instead of a brush, similar to the Zig one. Also, for some washes, I thought of trying the neutral tint Winsor & Newton Professional Watercolor. I've added it to my palette already. Yeah, my palette is a mess. Sorry. And I'm going to be trying to dilute that to different ratios to see if I can get a really nice kind of set of tones to wash illustrations with. So that's going to be exciting. Standard Signo Uniball white pen for small highlights. And also bought some of those Derwent ink tents. I've got the outliner ink black and I think it was charcoal. Yeah, I think it's charcoal. And these are just water soluble colouring pencils. But yeah, that concludes my Inktober haul. I hope that was somewhat useful for you to know what I'm going to be trying and maybe give you a little bit of inspiration. If I'm not using something that you think I should really use, please let me know in the comments. And also, if you guys are going to be participating in Inktober, leave your social media links down below, because I'd really like to check everybody's Inktobers out. I won't be posting on YouTube every day for Inktober, because I honestly don't think I have time to edit an entire video every single day, but I will be posting on Instagram every single day and doing like a kind of montage weekly update for Inktober, so you'll get 4 videos of Inktober. For those of you doing Inktober, I wish you the best of luck, and if you're considering Inktober but you're not quite sure, please give it a go. I don't think you'll regret it. The more practice, the better, is what I say. You can do it, even if you think you can't do it, you can. Just give it a go. The most important thing is to keep going. And I'm going to try and remember that too, because that's quite a hypocritical statement coming from me. Because I generally have no consistency whatsoever. But this year I will do the 31 days. I will. So yeah, if you want to keep up with me during Inktober, follow me on Instagram, which is @BlackVelvetron, and I will see you next Sunday for another video. Bye, lovelies.